This disclaimer image establishes the channel's mission to help busy home cooks break down complicated recipes into simple visual step-by-step guides. The legal disclaimer ensures transparency about recipe sources and viewer responsibility. Veal Saltimbocca alla Romana, a classic Roman dish that translates to jumps in the mouth, and it truly lives up to its name. Thin, tender veal cutlets are layered with fresh sage leaves and delicate prosciutto, pan-seared until golden, and finished with a silky butter and white wine pan sauce brightened with fresh lemon juice. Alright, let's get everything ready before we start. This recipe is beautifully simple, you won't need a long shopping list. For the main assembly, you'll need 8 veal cutlets, sometimes labeled scallopini at the butcher counter. These are thin, boneless slices, about 4 to 5 ounces each. You'll also need 8 thin slices of prosciutto. Grab these from the deli counter and ask them to slice it thin but not paper thin so it holds together. Pick up a bunch of fresh sage. You want at least 8 nice big leaves for the cutlets, plus a few extra sprigs for the sauce later. And grab some cornstarch, about half a cup. This goes on the veal before cooking to help it brown nicely and thicken the sauce. If you only have all-purpose flour at home, that works too. For cooking and the sauce, you'll need 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter, half a cup of dry white wine, anything you'd happily drink, Pinot Grigio or Sauvignon Blanc work great, and 1 to 2 teaspoons of fresh lemon juice. Have kosher salt and freshly ground black pepper on hand. There's also an optional secret weapon, half a teaspoon of soy sauce, preferably Japanese light soy called usakuchi. It's not traditional, but it adds a wonderful depth to the sauce. Equipment-wise, make sure you have some wooden toothpicks to hold everything together, plastic wrap for pounding the veal, and a meat pounder, or if you don't own one, the bottom of a small heavy saucepan works perfectly. Now let's get everything assembled before we turn on the stove. Take your time here. Good prep makes the cooking part a breeze. First, pound the veal. Lay your cutlets on a cutting board and cover them with a sheet or two of plastic wrap. This keeps things tidy and prevents tearing. Using your meat pounder or the flat bottom of a small heavy pan, gently pound each cutlet until it's about a 1/4 inch thick all the way across. This does 2 things. It tenderizes the meat and makes sure it cooks evenly. No thick spots that stay raw while thin edges overcook. Next, season one side only. Give just one side of each cutlet a light sprinkle of salt and pepper. Don't go heavy here. The prosciutto is already quite salty and will season the meat from the other side as it cooks. Now flip the cutlets so the seasoned side faces down. Take your biggest, most fragrant sage leaves and lay one right in the center of each cutlet. If your sage leaves are on the smaller side, use 2 per cutlet, no harm in that. Layer the prosciutto on top. Drape 1 slice of prosciutto over each cutlet so it covers the sage leaf and sits flat. The prosciutto on top acts like a little blanket that holds the sage in place. Secure everything with toothpicks. Push 2 toothpicks through each cutlet, go down through the prosciutto into the veal and back up through the prosciutto like you're pinning fabric with a safety pin. This keeps your little stack from falling apart in the pan. Finally, dredge the veal side in cornstarch. Pour the cornstarch into a wide, shallow bowl, then press just the bottom veal side of each assembled cutlet into it and shake off the excess. Don't coat the prosciutto side, it won't be spending much time face down in the pan. This light coating helps create a golden crust and gives your pan sauce a lovely silky texture. Here's where the magic happens, and it goes fast, so have everything within arm's reach before you start. Sear the first batch. Heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a large skillet over high heat until the oil shimmers and just barely starts to smoke. Lay in 4 cutlets, prosciutto side up, cornstarch-coated veal side down against the hot pan. Let them cook, swirling the pan now and then until the bottom is golden brown and you can see the last traces of pink fading at the edges on top. If it's browning too fast, just lower the heat a bit. Do the quick flip. This is the fun part. Using a thin spatula, flip each cutlet prosciutto side down for just a second or two, then immediately flip it back. That's it. This brief flash of heat wakes up the sage's fragrance and softens the prosciutto just enough to meld with the veal without drying it out or making it tough and overly salty. Transfer the cutlets to a clean platter. Sear the second batch. Add the remaining 1 tablespoon of olive oil to the same skillet and repeat the exact same process with the other 4 cutlets. Sear veal side down, quick flip the prosciutto, then move them to the platter. Build the pan sauce. Turn the heat down to medium-low, add the 3 tablespoons of butter and a few fresh sage sprigs to the skillet. Once the butter melts and starts to foam, pour in the half cup of white wine, turn the heat up to medium and stir with a wooden spoon, scraping up all those gorgeous brown bits stuck to the bottom. That's where so much flavor lives. Finish the sauce. Keep stirring and swirling as the sauce simmers. You're watching for it to thicken and turn glossy. It should coat the back of a spoon and leave a clear trail when you drag your finger across it. This happens quickly, so stay attentive. If it over-reduces and looks oily or broken, don't panic. Just whisk in a tablespoon or 2 of water and it'll come right back together. Season and serve. Add salt and pepper to taste, then stir in 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. Give it a taste. You want a nice balance of buttery richness and bright acidity, so add more lemon if it needs it. If you're using the soy sauce, stir in that half teaspoon now. Fish out the sage sprigs and discard them. Now the important part, remove all the toothpicks from the cutlets. You don't want any surprises at the dinner table. Pour that beautiful sauce over the top and serve right away while everything is hot and glossy. Enjoy your Saltimbocca alla Romana with pickles.